Hello, friends and family of Grace Church. It's so nice to virtually see you again. I feel like I start the video really awkwardly every time, so I apologize about that. I am very excited to just share with you some more of the stuff of what the Lord has been teaching me recently. I'm still going through and reading this book by Max Lucado called Just Like Jesus, and this book has been so eye-opening, and I'm just so grateful for the Lord for bringing me back to this book that I have. And so I just want to read a little bit, but also summarize part of what the chapter that I just read says. The chapter is called The Touch of God, and it's talking about the passage in Matthew 8 where Jesus cleanses a leper. That's what it says. So verses 1 to 4 of Matthew 8 says this. It says, when he came down from the mountain, great crowds followed him, he being Jesus. And behold, a leper came to him and knelt before him, saying, Lord, if you will, you can make me clean. And Jesus stretched out his hand and touched him, saying, I will, be clean. And immediately his leprosy was cleansed. And Jesus said to him, See that you say nothing to anyone, but go, show yourselves to the priest, and offer the gift that Moses commanded for a proof to them. So Max Lucado in this book talks about that story, and he talks about like the leper himself, and he just shares about he kind of like almost imagines what it would be like for that leper in that time, and he talks about different aspects of even this story in particular. There's no name mentioned. It doesn't talk about any other information really about this guy, but he goes through and Max Lucado kind of like shares about what it could have been for this guy. So I'm gonna read this for you guys. So this is a section called The Ultimate Outcast. This is in Just Like Jesus by Max Lucado. He writes, sometimes my curiosity gets the best of me. I wonder out loud. That's what I'm going to do here. Wonder out loud about the man who Jesus felt who felt Jesus's compassionate touch. He makes one appearance, has one request, and receives one touch, but that touch changed his life forever. I wonder if the story went something like this. For 5 years, no one touched me. No one. Not one person. Not my wife, not my child, not my friends. No one touched me. They saw me. They spoke to me. I sensed love in their voices. I saw concern in their eyes, but I didn't feel their touch. There was no touch. Not once. No one touched me. What is common to you, I coveted. Handshakes, warm embraces, a tap on the shoulder to get my attention, a kiss on the lips to steal a heart. Such moments were taken from my world. No one touched me. No one bumped into me. What I would have given for someone to just bump into me, to be caught in a crowd, for my shoulder to brush against another's. But for 5 years, it has not happened. How could it? I was not allowed on the streets. Even the rabies, even the rabies, even the rabbis, that's what that word is, even the rabbis kept their distance from me. Oh my word. I was not permitted in the synagogue, not even welcome in my home. I was untouchable. I was a leper, and no one touched me until today. He keeps on going, and he talks about how that's just the beginning of the story, but it continues on how he could have been looking at the streets and seeing a girl who could have been his daughter or something like that. Like, he just shares about what this man's life could have been like. And then at the end, he talks about how Jesus didn't need to touch him. It was not necessary for the healing to happen, for Jesus to actually physically touch him. But Jesus knew in that moment that that man desired touch like no other. Like, he had not had it, like he just mentioned, for 5 years, hypothetically. But Jesus knew that that would carry so much love and so much healing. Of course, that would radically change his life, but it would also just carry so much more love. And that was just the goodness of God being revealed in a single touch that meant so much to that person. And this one other section says, imagine that, unworthy of the touch of a man, yet worthy of the touch of God. And I was thinking that during this COVID time, like, it was kind of ironic that it was like no one in this story, no one shakes hands or no one touches or no one does any of this stuff. Like, it just seemed very unique that that I'm reading this during this time where we don't shake hands, we try not to touch, we social distance, we try and keep 6 feet or 2 meters apart of other people. And it just reminds me how the Lord can just bless us even in these times, and how his love for us is just so great, and how he was gracious enough to touch this man who no one wanted to touch, who no one was going to touch, but he wanted to give him that physical love that he so craved. And I just know that the Lord today also wants to love us in ways that we can't comprehend otherwise. And I know that some of you may be yearning for hugs again, and like being back together in order that we can hug or shake hands or do fun little versions of handshakes that Anna and I would teach or whatnot. But I just know that the Lord is just so kind and so gracious and so caring to meet us where we're at. And so I don't know if you guys had ever thought about this story in that way before, but it was extremely eye-opening to know that Jesus healed this man with a touch, even though it wasn't necessary for healing. And it just made me love the Lord a whole lot more, knowing that he met him and he was so caring and so kind, and he just wanted this man to feel loved beyond what he had felt for the last who knows how many years. It could have been more than 5. Like, we have no idea. Not a lot of that information was given in the scriptures. So I hope that you found encouragement through this. I hope that you know that the Lord is kind. He's gracious. He wants to love you in ways that only he can love you. And I just pray that you'll spend time with him and just know that he really does love you and does care for you, even in this time that feels so bleak and so hopeless. So I just pray that you live in his hope today. Bye, guys. Have a great day.